I spoke earlier to another prominent voice, Justice Madan Lokur, formerly of the Supreme Court, and let's just play that. I began by asking him what he made of this report and did its findings concern him?
Yes, I think we should be concerned about it for two reasons. One is that, it gives a wrong impression about India, or not, a wrong impression in that sense, but an impression about India that democracy is not working over here, right? So I think we have to get rid of that perception, and that can only be done by, improving the parameters for democracy. And the second reason is that, we have to think about, about our democracy. How are we progressing? What are we doing? Are we stifling it in any manner?
Right. That's the question I wanted to ask you, because we always come back to this emergency comparison. And as someone who's been in the judiciary, judicial independence, an important benchmark of democracy, how would you compare what is happening now with that comparison that inevitably crops up about the judiciary being compromised or complicit during the emergency?
Yeah, you see, it's a problem. Now recently there was a comparison, not really a comparison, but a statement about what happened in the emergency and what is happening today, right? Now, during the emergency, the case of ADM Jabalpur had been decided by the High Court and by the Supreme Court. Emergency was declared in June 1975, and the decision of the Supreme Court came in April 1976. That means in less than a year, the High Court had taken a decision and the Supreme Court had taken a decision. Today, we find that persons have been detained and their cases have not been taken up for consideration for a year, more than a year in some cases. Now, if the emergency was bad enough in terms of, habeas corpus, today I think it's worse than what it was in terms of habeas corpus. I mean, if during the emergency cases could be heard and disposed of within a year, I don't see why it should take more than a year to not decide a case. I can understand you decide a case after 1 year, but here you're not deciding a case. The person is getting released. So yes, there are events like this which are very, very disconcerting. The migration of people, last year, curtailment of the freedom of speech and expression, not being proactive as far as internet shutdowns are concerned. Today again there is a report which says that out of 155 internet shutdowns at the instance of governments, 109 were from India. Number 2 was Yemen with 6 internet shutdowns. See the gap?
Yeah.
109 in India and 6 in Yemen. So, these are things which are very disconcerting, and I think the judiciary has to be, far more proactive than it has been, to put things back on an even keel.
Quickly wanted to ask you, are you seeing any kind of pushback, any change? Are you optimistic or not really?
I hope it doesn't get worse. If it gets worse, then we are in the doghouse. But yeah, but I don't think there is any option except, for the judiciary to pull up its socks, and for all of us to be optimistic that this happens.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much indeed, Justice Lokur, for talking to us there.